When we think of high school students and motivation, some things that might come to mind include GPA, college admissions, SAT scores, and after-school activities to round out your resume. We often view education as a hoop that we have to jump through in order to get to where we really want to be. This is a school full of well-rounded students who involve themselves in a wide variety of activities: sports, clubs, jobs, volunteer work, AP and honors classes, art, and so much more. So why do we do what we do? Well, there are the obvious answers: because it looks great on college apps, to get community service hours, maybe because we feel it's expected of us. I remember having a magnet on my family's refrigerator that read, "Don't just do what you love what you do." Over time, I've come to interpret this as not only going out and having fun, but also getting down to business when necessary, and most importantly, learning to value these experiences equally. If barely making it through one miserable task and then reluctantly moving along to the next. So today, I would like to talk about how motivation empowers me to love what I do. First, I'd like to share a little bit about myself. My name is Adeline, and I'm a high school junior involved in a rigorous academic program called International Baccalaureate. But nobody can spell that, so we just call it IB. This is a highly challenging academic program that allows students to take a heavy course of advanced classes. Aside from that, I'm a Girl Scout ambassador, currently working on my Gold Award, a junior black belt in Taekwondo, vice president of the cooking club, clarinet section leader in our school's marching band, and first tenor saxophone in Jazz Band 1. So as you can see, I am very busy, and I love everything that I do. Aside from lack of sleep, I think one of the most remarkable aspects of taking on rigorous coursework is the struggle to find the motivation to continue. Because let's face it, repeatedly telling yourself, "Come on, just one more problem," can only get you so far. I think I speak for most of my fellow students when I say that we've all wondered before, how on earth will I be able to put up with this from now until graduation? Without motivation, this question becomes all-consuming. So instead, I would like to pose a new question. What will the cap and gown really mean in the end if we spend all of our time here giving the bare minimum of effort? Let's look at some ways to keep pushing yourself forward when your schedule and workload become intense. First, challenge yourself to become an active learner. With all of the pressure that my peers and I face, it's really easy to get caught up in the numbers. By high school, we've come to value grades and scores over genuine knowledge. We need to take a step back and ask ourselves, why am I doing this? Because although I definitely agree that good grades are important, ultimately we are here to learn. So find something in each class that interests you, and use this to push yourself to keep on studying. We all know what it's like to sit there, half asleep, absent-mindedly copying down notes. But in the long run, this doesn't help anyone. Instead, find within yourself a desire to understand and a need to improve. This will have so much more of an impact than just wishing for straight A's, because unfortunately, just to desire an A is insufficient. You have to want to work for that grade. In the end, your character is shown through your determination, not through your report card. Why do we always look at intelligence and talent as the gateways to success? Effort, rather, is key, and we must own our educations. Next, involve yourself in extracurricular activities that you honestly enjoy. I mean, sometimes we feel that in order to get into college, we'll have to become the president of every club on campus, the lead in every play, and the captain of the football team. You might scramble to find any activity you possibly can, and then join one that you don't really care about, and then end up dreading every single meeting or practice. It's ironic that these activities are meant to enrich a student's educational experience, but they mean nothing to us when we do them solely to receive credit. It's not enough to do something because you think you have to. You have to do it because you actually want to. I've found that extracurriculars become so much more valuable when you engage in those that particularly interest you. So challenge yourself to find some activities that genuinely excite you, and then participate in as many of these as you'd like. When you have a lot to juggle, trust me, you will feel exhausted. But having a passion for what you do makes this struggle all worth it. Lastly, and probably the most important of all, find a support system that empowers you. Students can find support all around them in their lives, even if it doesn't seem like it. For me, my parents and teachers have encouraged my educational ambitions. When I was entering high school, deciding what I wanted to do at this magnet school, my parents made it clear to me that my overall well-being was their number one priority. I didn't feel pressured by them to go one way or another. Instead, I felt empowered in knowing that they would support me on any path I chose. And today, when I'm feeling the stress that comes from juggling everything, they continue to talk to me and provide the occasional push that I need. After a long and frustrating day, my mom will let me control all of the music that we listen to in the car as we chat. And when I first got my permit, I was overwhelmed by everything else that I had to do and terrified to get behind the wheel. But my dad didn't let me give up. Instead, we got in his car and he patiently guided me as I drove around until I felt more confident. But you still might want to stay off the roads. I've also found that our teachers and school staff are here for us, dedicated to helping us succeed. They empower my peers and I by believing in us, encouraging us to dream big, and reminding us that effort will pay off. They work to make sure that their students really engage and understand the material. When we reach out as students and take advantage of these opportunities available to us, it becomes so much easier to find the motivation that we need. So, parents and teachers, be someone's support system. Making any kind of effort to show that you genuinely care can have an outstanding impact on our lives. During stressful times, I turn to my enthusiasm to expand my mind. And this enthusiasm comes from teaching myself to love learning, from doing challenging activities that I also enjoy, and from finding people who empower each other. Although it's definitely difficult at times, I love everything that I do. I'm not simply surviving, I'm thriving. And I know that it is because of the motivation that I find all around me in my life that I can be an empowered learner. Thank you.